There exists a threshold you cross without knowing, a line between what belongs to you and what the world attempts to place within you. Have you felt it? That sensation of being observed without being seen. That exhaustion after a gathering, as if you absorbed emotions that were never yours. What you are about to discover is not a trinket, nor a trend, nor another superstition. It is an ancestral key, a silent symbol of spiritual power, a red thread tied with intention that marks the boundary between you and the world. In the ancient spiritual teachings, from the silent halls of Kabbalistic temples to the most guarded Hermetic practices, one profound truth was understood. The left side of the human body is a channel of energetic reception. It is not random. It is not metaphorical. It is a vibrational fact. Through here enters the subtle. Here slip the disguised intentions, the emotions of others, the vibrations you did not invite. The thread does not block your humanity. It does not cage your sensitivity. What it does is act as a spiritual filter, a silent guardian, a symbol that, if placed with consciousness, tells the universe, I choose what enters my field. Yet here lies the true secret. The thread alone protects nothing. Without intention, it is merely string. Without purpose, it is merely another accessory. The real power is not in the object, but in the internal decision that activates it, in the energy with which it is tied, in the clarity with which it is consecrated. The red thread is not for everyone. It is for those who have decided to awaken, for those who understand that their energy is not at the disposal of chaos. In this journey, you will unravel the mystery of the red thread on the left wrist. You will explore its roots in esoteric wisdom, tracing it through ancient cultures and mystical schools. You will discover what truly happens when you wear it with purpose, and how initiates across centuries used this practice to maintain their spiritual sovereignty. You will learn the vibrational mechanics behind this simple yet profound gesture. Most importantly, you will understand how to transform a simple thread into a powerful spiritual tool, one that is not superstition, but living alchemy. Because protecting your field is not fear, it is consciousness, and your soul, though strong, also deserves reverent care. In the ancient schools of wisdom, before spirituality was packaged as consumer product, there existed silent knowledge transmitted from master to disciple through gesture and symbol. In that world, the invisible was as real as the visible, the energetic as valuable as the physical. Protecting the vibrational field was as essential as caring for the body. One of the most fundamental principles of this wisdom was the energetic asymmetry of the human body. The right side is the channel of emission. The left side is the channel of reception. It is not arbitrary, but part of the energetic architecture of the incarnate soul. The left represents the feminine, the intuitive, the receptive, the side of the moon, of the unconscious, of the inner world. And as every receptive channel, it is exposed. Exposed to what comes from the environment, to unfiltered emotions, to thoughts floating without owner. In mystical Kabbalah, the left arm is associated with the pillar of judgment, and the wrist, that point where heart energy meets expression, is seen as a threshold, the final frontier between what you feel and what you absorb. Here is where the red thread enters, not as a fetish, but as a seal, as a vibrational code declaring, from this point forward, only what I permit may enter. This thread, traditionally of red wool, was tied not from vanity or custom, but as a ritual act. It was a tool of the wise, of those who understood that living awake is also living with boundaries. In many ancient cultures, red was not decorative. It was vibrational. It was attributed the frequency of sacred fire, not destructive fire, but the fire that delimits, that consecrates, that purifies. In Mesopotamia, Egypt, among the Hebrew peoples, and in hidden branches of Hinduism, red marked the sacred. A red cord meant energetic sealing. The true initiates did not need to show. They knew the thread's power was not in being seen, but in being felt and activated. It refined sensitivity. It converted it into conscious choice. Today, in a world saturated with noise, recovering this ancestral gesture is not backward-looking. It is inner revolution. Because wearing a red thread with consciousness is not superstition. It is living alchemy. It is remembering that the body is a temple, and every temple needs a door, and every door needs a guardian. Imagine your body as a living temple of energy in motion, of light that breathes. Every part has purpose. Every channel has direction. Within this subtle architecture are points that function as doors, places where the external can enter and the internal can leave. One of those points is the left wrist. The wrist is not merely an articulation. It is a vortex, an energetic node where the heart, lungs, and pericardium intersect. It is the intersection between deep feeling and action in the world. Being part of the left arm, it becomes a subtle entry gate. In many spiritual traditions, when consecrating the body, one began with the wrists, because wrists are extensions of the soul, the medium through which we give and receive. The red thread on the left wrist is protection at the receiving channel. Yet why a thread? Why red? Why that exact position? A thread is discreet, simple, humble. Yet it is a knot. It unites. It binds. It seals. In esoteric language, a thread represents continuity, a line connecting intentions, moments, planes. And if red, its frequency rises to vibrational fire. Red represents not only strength, but delimitation. It is the color of blood, of birth, of life itself in its purest state. When tied on the left wrist, you create a ritual act, invoking energetic sovereignty. It is like drawing a vibrational line, telling the environment, "Here begins my field. Here I hold power." Yet this symbol is only as powerful as the intention activating it. If placed from fashion or superstition, nothing occurs. The true power is not in the object, but in the consciousness accompanying it. The thread is a catalyst. You decide whether to ignite it. It is like an energetic password. The thread functions when charged with purpose. When, as you tie it, you declare with inner clarity, "May this not be my filter. May what is not mine not penetrate me. May my field remain clean." The thread becomes an extension of your energetic will. This is the principle of all true magic. Intention gives form to the symbol. It is not the thread that protects. It is your consciousness projected into it. It is not the wool that transforms. It is the energy you assign it. The act does not matter. The soul backing it does. The red thread does not protect by itself. It protects because you convert it into a conscious boundary. It protects because, as you place it, you are drawing an invisible limit, and respecting it becomes part of your spiritual practice. But here appears a less understood dimension. The boundary not only protects from outside, It also organizes your interior. When you mark an energetic border on your left wrist, you are not only saying, "This does not enter." You are also affirming, "This is mine. This belongs to me. This is what I cultivate." You are recognizing your field as sacred space, and that delimitation has direct impact on your mental clarity, your emotional health, even your karma. Because where there is no boundary, there is confusion, and where confusion exists, the energies of others mix with your internal processes. You begin carrying guilt that is not yours, resolving conflicts that do not belong to you, becoming sick from emotions you absorbed without awareness. The red thread is then a living reminder of vibrational discernment. This is especially crucial if you are an empathic, sensitive, or channeling person. The invisible world touches you. Floating emotions adhere. Unspoken words weigh. Without a filter, your field becomes an open market where everything enters and almost nothing leaves. The red thread can be that sealed portal, that key closing the passage to the unnecessary, opening only what resonates with your essence. Yet there is a common trap in the modern spiritual path: believing the symbol substitutes consciousness. Wearing the thread as fashion, as a mystical accessory, without having done internal work, is not only useless, it can be counterproductive, because it makes you believe you are protected when, in reality, you are open. This is what ancient masters taught with clarity. The symbol without soul is an empty shell. It is like wearing armor made of paper. It looks like something, but serves nothing. Because what activates the symbol is sustained intention, energetic coherence, ritual respect. Some tie it with rage, with desire for revenge, with fear of the evil eye. And then the thread does not filter. It amplifies. Because the ritual's energy impregnates the object. And if the intention is fear, that is what magnetizes. This is why, before placing it, it is vital to cleanse your emotional field, clarify your purpose, and declare, with vibrational firmness, what this act represents for you. Knowledge does not transform. What transforms is application. Knowing the red thread holds power is insufficient. What makes the difference is how you carry it, when you use it, and above all, with what consciousness you activate it. Before you tie it, ask yourself, what do I need to protect? What part of me is exposed or vulnerable? What am I willing to filter from now forward? The act of tying the thread must come from internal choice, not from trend or fear. If you do not know what it represents for you, the thread remains merely an accessory. Make the moment of placing it a ritual. Light a white or red candle. Breathe deeply. Visualize a sphere of light enveloping your left arm. With calm, tie the thread in 3 knots while repeating aloud or in your mind an affirmation such as, "This thread seals my energetic field. Only what elevates my vibration is welcome." Do this with total presence. The ritual need not be complex. It only needs to be honest. Pay attention to how your body responds. Many times the body responds immediately when an object is correctly activated. You may feel warmth at the wrist, a wave of calm, or even a subtle tingling in your chest. These are signals that your field has received the message. If you feel nothing, do not worry. The thread acts even in the most subtle planes. But if the thread makes you uncomfortable, falls constantly, or breaks without apparent reason, listen to it. That too is a message. It may mean it has completed its function, or your field needs a different vibration now. Do not keep it forever. One of the most common mistakes is wearing the red thread indefinitely until it deteriorates into a simple, energetically lifeless strand. Every sacred symbol has a cycle. When the thread begins to fray or breaks, give it closure. Thank it. Burn it with intention or return it to the earth. And if you wish, consecrate a new one. Thus you keep the energy of the act alive. Thus, you maintain the consciousness behind the symbol active. Remember, the thread is not a magical shield against all negativity. It is a tool of remembrance and alignment. But you must complement that vibration with concrete actions. Learning to say no. Distancing yourself from what lowers your energy. Protecting your rest, your time, your silence. Do not use the thread as an excuse to avoid internal work. Use it as vibrational reinforcement of your decision to live in coherence. Because it is not the knot that cares for you. It is your consciousness, sustained in each gesture, that transforms your life. There are those who walk through the world without knowing they absorb, without knowing that the discomfort they feel is not theirs, that the rage they carry did not begin within them, that the sorrow weighing on them is borrowed memory, not their own wound. And there are those who, in silence, begin to awaken. They begin to understand that living with an open heart does not mean being exposed to chaos. That feeling deeply is not the same as absorbing indiscriminately. That protecting oneself is not isolating, it is honoring oneself. In this awakening, the red thread appears as a symbol, a simple line, invisible to the distracted eye, but burning for the soul beginning to remember. It appears when you are ready to stop apologizing for existing, when you decide that your peace is not negotiable, when you understand that you are not here to fix everyone else's broken pieces, because it is no longer about the object. It is about what it activates in you. It is about the moment you tie the thread and feel something shift inside. A firmness, a clarity, a quiet declaration that echoes through your entire being. This is my field. This is my energy. This is my responsibility, and I will protect it. The red thread on the left wrist is not the magical solution to your problems. It will not make you invincible. But it can be the spark, the intention, the energetic declaration that marks a before and after. It can be the first step toward telling yourself, enough of carrying what is not mine. From today forward, I decide what enters my field. I care for my energy as I care for my body, my soul, my peace. We live in a world where distraction has become norm, where symbols are trivialized, where energy is given away without measure. In this context, a gesture as simple as tying a thread with intention can be revolutionary. It can be real magic. Psychomagia. Just as the ancients did, you too can consecrate your own symbols. You can restore their soul. You can walk through the world without closing yourself, but also without losing yourself. Your energetic field is sacred. Your soul is not here to be drained. It is here to create, to manifest, to connect. And that is only possible when you are centered, firm and clear, like a mountain of light. So I ask you, will you continue giving away your energy, or will you begin honoring it? Because the choice, always, has been yours.